Married life started in England on November 15, 1969, where we spent about 6 years together after marriage before we moved to Nigeria. We went there with 2 children, and while we were there, we had another 2 children.
So our lives have been pretty active from the beginning until now. After our marriage in '69, we spent 5 years after our marriage. After that, then we moved to Nigeria, and our life still became pretty mobile, pretty active, I should say.
I was lecturing at the University of Ibadan, and Elma was a nurse at St. Mary's Catholic Church. Hospital in Ibadan.
Going to work, coming back, and looking after the family.
But after some time, things were not so good in Nigeria, and I got a job at the University of Calgary, and we moved here 30 years ago.
Years. When he got a job here at the university, the only time I wasn't that active was when I was not able to work at that time.
So things were rough at the beginning because we came on a work visa. I came on a work visa. My wife and the children, none of them could work, so we had to depend on one income, on my salary as a postdoctoral fellow at that point.
But eventually things settled down and we got our, what do you call it? PR. And then I was able to work. And then life kept on more busy and busy all the time.
19 years ago, when I left the university to go into real estate, things were kind of different. I still remain as an active salesperson, where Elma has now retired, and so she is looking after some of our business, at the same time helping the children, from picking up their children sometimes from school and drop off.
Thank God for good health. Mm-hmm. That was the main thing, that we kept moving like that.
Our meeting in the first place was a high in our lives. Our wedding day was pretty exciting. It was a high for us. And of course, the arrival of our children at every point was always a high for us. Getting a job straight at the university after 6 weeks at that point in time was a high. I also put my hands into other things, ran a nightclub, had a boutique, and life was good. Those are all highs.
Getting married with all the excitement and friends around and rallying around us, and getting work after that, and having children was our high too.
However, we came to a point when there was a law, which is not so much nothing to do with me or Elma as husband and wife, but there was actually a point in time when we ran out of grocery money in a particular month. That one of my friends had to help us with money to get grocery till the end of the month. That was a law.
Getting here and settling down and getting a home of our own, which was so nice. The children were so excited, and now they're all grown and have their own family. They
don't live far away from us, so we are able to enjoy a lot of festive time together. They must trust each other. it's very, very important that the people should trust each other.
Yeah.
They should be very honest with each other. They should go into the marriage with commitment, because without commitment, nothing is going to work. Trust, sincerity with each other. We are bound to offend each other, and there's no question about that. But ability to forgive is very, very essential in marriage.
Right.
Well, above all, nobody must take advantage of each other, because a lot of people say that my wife is a quiet woman. And if you take advantage of even a quiet woman, it gets to a point where you are not going to get the same kind of love and support that you get from the person. They must speak with one voice, especially when it comes to raising the children. Even if you don't agree with what the other person has done, you do not say it in the presence of the children. You must have your own quiet time when you dialogue. And when you have a problem, you don't let it linger on for too long before you deal with it. You know, you must constantly discuss, and reevaluate the situation in your home.
In my view, I think, between the couples, whoever can manage the financial side of it.
One of the things that is important
Yes.
is because the finances of the family is very, very important, and is key to successful marriage.
Yeah.
Because from the time you get married, so when you start having children,
Yeah.
the children have to go to school.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you're going to buy a house and a lot of things. So a lot of depends on the finances. So it's very, very important to get it right from the beginning.
From the beginning.
And it's just nice that in every relationship, one person or the other is going to have a better skill than the other person. It could be the man that has better financial acumen, management than the woman. It could be the woman that is going to have than the man. Whoever is better should be the one that should manage. It shouldn't be based on the fact that because I'm the man, I'm the one that's going to do it, or because I'm the woman. Whoever that can handle it better should do it. And when that is being done, there are a few things that are very important to take into consideration. That the person who is doing it must be trusted by the other person. And the person who is handling it must be honest. Because if it's not honest, that is where mistrust starts. It's very, very important. In our 50 years of marriage, we have kept a common account from the inception of our marriage till today, till now. That is very, very difficult in a lot of marriages. And when I've talked with some of the people that don't practice it, they find that trust is the biggest thing. Some women have said, if we keep the money together and one day my husband decides to go and marry another woman, that means all my efforts is gone. So that means there's no trust. You need to be sensitive to the need of each other. There must be constant review of your financial situation. It must not be static. You must continue to review it and do whatever you need to do at different points, to modify what is going on.
those that are scared, they should know the way they are being treated from the beginning. Be sure of themselves before they go into the marriage.
These days, marriage actually is not what it used to be, because there are a lot of forces these days that are affecting marriages in a bigger way than it used to be. Especially for those of us who have moved from Africa to overseas, so in particular, in this case, to Canada. At home, the wife would normally have a lot of help at home. It's either going to be housemates or family members, and that reduces a lot of stress. When we come in here, it's not the same. There's no house help, there's no maid. In a number of cases, the woman or the man, they have to go and retrain because their certificates need to be updated in order to find a suitable job. So trying to find a suitable job, combining having to go and upgrade with housework without help, it is tough. Especially in recent times when, with the downturn in the economy, when one or the other member of the family has lost his or her job, and the two people have to depend on one income. It gets tougher. Unlike in Nigeria, when if you have a house, it's your house, you will have finished paying for it. In this space, you take a mortgage, and when a problem like that happens, you are in the danger of being foreclosed on. So it's a lot of stress. Given that kind of stress, the ability to work together, to reason together, to be supportive of each other is even more important here than it is at home. Culturally, things are different from home than it is here. At home, if a couple is having a problem, before it gets out of hand, the elders step in and they kind of pacify the situation. Whereas here, it's left to the courts. And before you know where you are, there's separation. And separation is not good for the family, especially for the children. Therefore, it is very, very important that people know that the environment here is different. And therefore, they need to be more supportive of each other. When they have problems, they shouldn't take it straight to the courts. They should find a way of dealing with it, because at the end of the day, the children are the ones that are going to suffer in relationships that break up. Importantly, I would say that part of the problem, especially for the ones that are not married yet, don't marry, for the women, don't marry a man out of desperation. If you meet the man, he's not treating you nicely, you'll be a fool to think that once you are married, he's going to treat you any differently. If a man does not respect a woman during courtship or dating, he's not going to respect the woman when they get married, and it's going to lead to a lot of abuse. I know that sometimes the pressure from the parents make girls go and marry somebody that they don't really like just to please somebody. But that should not be the situation, because it is easier to get into the marriage than to get out of it. And for men, I would say that don't take a woman for granted. Be loving to the woman. be honest with the woman, because a woman's love is the commitment from women is usually very stronger than from men, and as long as you treat them nicely, you are going to find that you are going to enjoy the relationship very, very well. When I look at the relationship between Elma and myself, if she has not been the kind of patient woman that she is, I mean, maybe the marriage will not last 50 years. You know, so the patience from the woman is very, very important. But a man must not take the patience of a woman for granted, because no matter how patient or quiet the woman is, once you mistreat them and they don't have trust in you anymore, you are not going to get the same kind of love that you will have gotten if you continue to be nice to the woman. So be nice. First of all, Elma is as beautiful inside as she is outside. She's a very kind-hearted, humble, simple, well-mannered woman that you know, it should be hard for anybody not to love her. I've always said that Elma makes marriage idiot-proof. You know, any man could have been married to Elma and will be happy for the rest of his life. On the other hand, I don't believe that if I was married to another woman, that maybe life would have been the same as it has been with Elma. She has not made me feel any different from the day we first met.
He's fun-loving. He's kind. He does forgive you very easily. He doesn't keep malice.
I will say that in times like this, I wish I was an English major, actually, which I'm not. But if I have to describe Elma in one sentence, I will say that she's an embodiment of simplicity, good heart, beauty, love, and kind-heartedness. Yeah.
Thanks for being a lovely husband, and thanks for all your love and your kindness to me, and thanks for being a good father and grandfather, and we pray that God will give us a longer, more life to see many more, and keep us in good health together.
Elma, this is from me to you. I want to thank you for 52 years of friendship, 50 years as a wife, 50 years as a mother, 26 years as my nurse. You've made marriage life very simple for both of us, and the way you have related in the marriage, the commitment that you have put into it, such that you are loved by everybody, family and friends. You have done very well for the family. You've been a good mother to your children and grandmother to the kids. They all love you to death, probably much more than you and me can ever realize. Thank you for being there all the time for us. Thank you for your role as a pillar of the family. It is my hope, my prayer, that you outlive me, because without you, I think life will not be the same.